Hello, traders, and welcome to the Friday wrap-up, February 20th, 2015, on a Friday. Traders, great to be with you. This is the Friday wrap-up where we're going to go over some daily charts. Well, I should say a lot of daily charts. We have over 15 daily charts we're going to take a look at and discuss what they look like and what we might expect in the week to come. Traders, don't forget this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders, if you will, let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilday. I'm your moderator for the Friday wrap-up, which we do every Friday after the New York close. Traders, yes, we did miss last week. Unfortunately, I had a death in the family and was unable to attend to make the video. All right, I started trading in the year of 2006 and 2007. 2008. I retired from a great career in the fire rescue department after 27 years. Came to Thailand for a 3-month holiday. Well, traders, it's 2015 and I'm still here. I trade every single day, and if I'm not in a live trade, I'm actually listening, learning, looking for that opportunity with probabilities that I can win the next entry for the next trade. And if not, we just move on. And good money management skills will let you keep moving on. All right, traders, let's get over to the legal stuff real quick. We'll do the risk disclaimer. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex market. Do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, traders, commentary for the week. It was an interesting week, I have to say. We had some data come out. We had FOMC. So it was quite an interesting week, and you'll see that in the charts. I thought this week was more stable than the week before, which I was glad to see. Unfortunately, 2 out of the 4 days we had of trading, because we had a holiday, I wasn't in the market because of internet issues, and internet issues that were like, not that I didn't have internet, but it was like surging, and my charts weren't, they kept fluctuating. It was pretty crazy, to be honest with you. So I was not in. I'm looking forward to a full week of trading next week. As you know, China is on their New Year holiday break, and that, I think, will end on Wednesday. China will be back in the markets. Just a little bit of commentary, sort of looking forward to getting started and back to the charts. I sort of miss it sometimes over the weekends. All right, remember, all these charts are daily charts, traders. These are daily charts. I don't have them marked on the charts, but they are daily charts, okay? And as usual, with most of my videos, I always usually start with the euro dollar. And this is really a great chart. If you take a look, we're at support, and look at, your last 5 candles, all indecision candles. Doesn't know where it wants to go, what it wants to do. It was a very indecision week. I think a lot of people were waiting for that FOMC for, I call it Auntie-Yellen, FOMC chairwoman. And, we could expect, I'm hoping to expect some sort of a breakout in either direction. Either break support and continue to the downside, which is what I'm planning on, or break up to the upside and let's take it up to the 200 exponential moving average and let's get on with it. Let's get moving. But I got to tell you, this has been a long range. This is over 2 weeks now we've been in this range. Now, don't underestimate some of those large candles. Those are a lot of pips there. Those are probably 35, 40 pips in an hour. So there is some good to that also. All right, now we're going to come over to a chart, which I'm pretty sure is the dollar Swiss. And this is, in fact, I could probably tell you here, if I just look back here, I think it's the dollar Swiss. And this is, you can see where when the Swiss lifted the 1.20 floor, that's that big red candle, and you can see they haven't done much after that. They basically are hanging out and not doing anything. And let's take a look at a pound. Pound, if you take a look at this, this is a nice trend line. If you look at this, this is in an up move now. But however, this is at resistance. Take a look left of your chart. It's going into another streak there. If you look at after that big red candle, you got another streak of probably 3 weeks worth of candles there. And what happens? You end up with two down days, two red days. So it's going to be interesting to see how we start off our week with the pound. And they had some bad numbers come out, and they haven't had the best of luck. And you always know when they're not doing well. Um, Chancellor Merkel hasn't been talking. Usually when things are good in Germany, um, she talks a lot, which I know has nothing to do with the pound, but usually she talks a lot, which ineffectively affects the pound dollar as its movement. But the UK is just like hanging out there, and I'd really like to see this break. I assume, well, that's not a good word, is it? I am planning that this is going to break to the upside, and I would like to see that high of that blue candle get taken out, and let's just keep moving up and battle that, which is resistance, and battle that at, what is that, 55.60. So we got some work ahead of us with the pound dollar, but I'm not bullish in the pound dollar. Actually, I'm bearish in the pound dollar. So it's sort of like the chart tells you one thing and your brain says something else. Welcome to Forex trading. Here's a dollar yen. This is pretty interesting. Just basically, it's been sideways for a very long time. If you do not have the dollar index chart, which today we do not have a dollar index chart on our screen, on our slides today. But if you take a look at this dollar yen, you can compare it to the dollar index, and the dollar index chart almost looks pretty close to what this looks like. It's just absolutely sideways. It's not doing anything. It's pretty flat. The yens are really keeping pretty quiet. I did hear Kuroda speak on Friday, and they're doing a lot of talking. So they say they're basically going to stay the track. They're not like looking to make any monetary movements or changes, and they're just going to keep on the mission. And I guess that's a good thing. At least they're not thinking of something. But I wish they'd do something because that moves the markets and makes us some pips. Here's one of my favorite pairs is the euro yen. I have said in the last 2 weeks that I think that the euro yen is in a change of trend, and I think it's heading back up to the upside. I don't like that. At the end of the trading week last week, we ended with a doji. That's sort of not very comfortable when we were at a resistance level, and now we end with a doji. So this bit now, we don't know where this is headed for. I am suspecting this is going to pop through this, and this is going to head up to the 200 exponential moving average and do the move back to the downside. If this gives us a red candle on Monday and Tuesday, I suspect it's going to probably come back down to that 130.87 area, 130.90 area, somewhere in there. I think it's going to come all the way back down. So, we're just going to have to watch and see. Now, this is not the yen issue. This is the euro issue, okay? Remember when we look at these two currency pairs, who's causing the problem? Well, it's not the yen, it's the euro. So
it's 20 hours.
It really depends on what happens with what the euro does, and that's what's powering this currency pair. So, but I hope it gets moving because it's a fun pair to trade. It's got a lot of movement. It's got a lot of energy. Let's talk about the beast a little bit. Here's the pound yen. This is so typical of the pound yen. I say this all the time, and I mean it because it's so important that you do not trade the pound yen unless you have a minimum of 6 to 8 months of live trading, with over a 50% win rate to be trading the pound yen. This is called the beast, and there's a reason they call it the beast. It's because it's very volatile, and it will beat you up if you're not careful. But this is very typical of the beast to bounce off the 200 exponential moving average. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And then all of a sudden, boom, there she goes. She takes off and doesn't come back. Now we've been, close to 2 weeks in this range, and the last 3 days are dojis. Again, what are we going to do? There's nothing that you can do here. We just got to sit and wait and watch. I'm bullish in the pound yen. I expect this to go higher. So I don't know if what it's going to do, but my bias is that this is in an uptrend, and we need this to break this resistance area and move on, and let's get some pips out of this. All right, let's take a look at the Aussie yen. See, the Aussie yen is now below the 200 exponential moving average. I think that's pretty important that we notice that. We're bearish in the Aussie anyhow, no matter who it's with. We're bearish in the Aussie, so it's below the 200 exponential moving average. I expected that. It's moving some pips, and it's making some pips every day. It's making. I think the last time I checked, it's doing over 100 pips a day, 120 pips a day. So, it's not like it's not making any pips. So the Aussie yen is definitely a pair to look at if you want to put that on your trading list. To keep an eye on. I like to trade pairs that trades over 80 pips a day. Why would you want to trade a pair that's trading 40 pips a day or 38 pips a day? I mean, the chance of probabilities that you're going to win that trade is nil to none. You need to trade pairs that are trading at least 100 pips a day. And by the way, in case you didn't get this one, here's the second one. I guess I took 2 pictures of it by mistake, so let's keep going. And here's the Aussie dollar. And if you take a look at this Aussie dollar, this is typical. This has been flat for quite a while. But again, remember, these are daily candles, and there's a lot of, there's 30, 40 pips in each one of these candles here. So when you look at it, yes, it's in a range, but it's in a 100 pip range, right? So you got to take it day by day. But it's bearish. The one thing we need to remember is that it is bearish. And my bias is that it is bearish, and I'm only looking to sell this. If I see an opportunity that it comes to a psychological level or it comes to some level on the 1 hour time frame, well, then I'll trade that because that's what I trade. I trade the 1 hour time frame. So this is sideways. I'd like to see it break one way or the other. There's a good trend line you can put on there and work a trend line. It's at resistance right now. I mean, if you look at where the blue line is, what current price is, that's resistance right there. Look at how many times that price has been hit. At 78.41. Look how many times that's been hit and has been rejected. So, it's going to be pretty interesting to watch come Asia. And I'm sorry, I do not know if we have any news in Asia on our next Asia session. Well, this is the euro pound. Sorry, it's not on that. I messed up and forgot to type it in there, but it's on the bottom of the chart there. You can see that this is the euro pound, and I for some reason I said, you know what? Let's take a look at the euro pound. It's been a long time. I've never traded the euro pound because it doesn't move a lot of pips. And then I came to and looked at this chart and said, but look at how nice it, as far as a chart looks. If you look at this chart, spatial intelligence, this chart moves very nicely. It, moves down, fibs, comes down, goes sideways, right? Comes down, fibs, comes back down. Now it's back in a down move. So, I would expect if I was trading this chart that we're going to get a correction here. At some point, this is going to fib back up. And if I was trading this, I would trade that, which actually looks to me like that. Nah, not really. It could be an evening star, but not really. But, the top of that wick of that blue candle there, and trade it down to the low of that blue candle, the last candle, and fib this and see if you get to the 618 and this just to continue downward. But I do expect a correction on this. And, when you take it down to your lower time frame, that's really important that we notice that sort of thing. Another one of my favorite pairs to trade has been the New Zealand dollar. I've said that this is definitely a change of trend, and this is just moved to the upside. It's proven itself over and over again. I think it's in a change of trend. I think that the New Zealand's becoming strong again, and I expect it to go up. And when you look at the lower time frames and the daily trading and intraday trading, which I do, you'll see that. And so I'm bullish on this, believe it or not. And I'm really expecting it to go back to the 0.8010 area, basically the 200 exponential moving average. and that would be a beautiful thing. Okay, it's dollar CAD, the loonie, definitely in an uptrend, but you can see the last 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks, it's been sideways and it's been ugly. Not interested in trading the dollar CAD myself, my friends. Put a new one into this week, and that was the pound Aussie. I thought they were two cool pairs because I think the pound is um, the, the the Aussie we know is weak, and the pound is strong. And you come and take a look at this, and it just confirms what we're talking about. So we'll see how next week starts. But it's in its range now, and we'll see how this is gonna if it's going to continue to move. And I'm sure data is going to have an effect on this, how this continues throughout the week. Again, traders, I don't know why. Oh, we haven't talked about this. This is the Euro Aussie. One of my favorite pairs to trade, but look at this daily chart. Now, look at these candles. These are candles with some big wicks. Okay, so there's a lot of pips here, traders. These are 50, 60 pip candles in here. So when you go down here to smaller time frames, you can trade off of this. The problem we had last week when we were trying to predict what was going to happen was on a lower time frame was that this was sitting on the 200 exponential moving average for a long time, and it keeps bouncing off it. And it really hasn't made a decision yet. The only nice thing about the Euro Aussie is that when it does make a decision and makes a move, it continues it. So I'd like to see it go to the upside, and we'll see how that works. But it's a tricky one to play out. Traders, we have gone over. That's probably one of the longest ones we've had on our Friday wrap-up session. On behalf of myself, William Gilday, and FXCL Excellence in Trading, thank you very much for joining me for the Friday wrap-up. And please join us every day during the week, Monday through Friday, every trading day, for the market opening preview before the London Open. Traders, have a good day, and always remember, trade smart and not hard. Coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand. Have a great one, and we'll talk to you next time. Take care now. Bye-bye.